What is going on, ladies and genitals? YOTESLAYA here. Welcome back to another Black Ops 2 multiplayer gameplay. This is going to be an older gameplay as well. You've seen one last week where I talked about my rough week. And this one's going to be actually my first attempt on the map Pod. This is on the Xbox 360. I know you guys on PS3 actually just got this like few days ago, like last week sometime, so this is kind of fresh to you guys, but this was my first game on Pod. I've had it recorded since then, and I figured now's a good time to use that, because last week, if you did not know, I posted a video that I was having a really rough week, and I kind of went into detail what was going on. Most of you guys may have probably already seen that. If you did miss out on that, I got pulled over for drinking and driving. No, I do not condone on drinking and driving, and I fucked up. It's my fault, and I'm not proud of it, but I did make a commentary explaining things and why I was not very active, and that is what, you know, like, that's what it amounted to, was me getting into trouble. And it's just not like me. I was actually really stressed out because of it, and I went to court today, and I wanted to tell you guys, update that, and I also wanted to cover the jail stories and stuff like that. A lot of people from that commentary wanted to hear what it was like for me to go to jail, because I had never been before, and it was quite the experience. But update on it, I did go to court this morning, was in there for about 20 minutes. I told them I will be getting a lawyer, and I have to go back on December 16th, but what it looks like is I'll just have some fines, a suspended license, and some drug alcohol classes and stuff like that. So I think I'll be good. No prison time, which is what I thought. You know, I was like, dude, I'm screwed. My life is over. But, you know, even though times get rough and things, you know, there might be a, like, bump in the road. You know, things do get better, and I realized that. Last week I was super stressed out over this, thinking that, man, I'm going to go to prison. You know, like, I just, the worst case scenario. But really, you know, even though there was a bump in the road, it's still, there's light at the end of the tunnel, dude. So, you know, I feel much better today, you know, especially after going to court today and seeing what was actually going to transpire and go down. Like, man, I thought I was in so much trouble. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't get into trouble much, you know. Hardly. I only have once other in my life. So yeah, that's just what it was. So, man, just keep your, if you get caught in a sticky situation, just realize that everybody does make mistakes. Every single person out there has made mistakes. Even the Pope has probably masturbated to a Playboy magazine. Okay, let's just face it. He probably hasn't, but everybody makes mistakes. That was like the analogy that I was going for, and I fucked it all up. But yeah, anyways, but you know, I'm glad it's kind of like different than what it was last week. I'm about ready to play Last of Us. Oh my God, The Last of Us, really, Yodi? Yes, I'm about to play The Last of Us. I haven't played it for so long because I could not find the disc. But last night I was like, you know what? I'm going to find this disc. And I found it underneath my bed, of all places. I don't even play it in there, but it was underneath my bed. So apparently my boys were playing it on the PS3 in my bedroom, and it got pushed under my bed somehow. So we've got it. I'm about to play it, and I'm in a good mood, you know, unlike last week. But as you watch this gameplay, I'll tell you a little bit about my jail experience and stuff like that. But before we do go into this, I gotta like lead up to the jail experience and everything that goes down. So if you didn't see the commentary last week where it does talk about, I won't go into detail about everything for me getting pulled up. You know, I won't discuss all that. But if you did not see it, we were swimming out in the country. We were drinking while we were swimming, and then we ended up getting pulled over because I got a new truck. My paper plate was in my window, my back window, and not on my bumper. And so I got pulled over for it, and then the guy told me he was going to let me go until I blew. If you guys want to hear the entire story of me talking to the cop, you guys can check that out. I will put a link in the description. So leading up to the jail experience itself, I told you guys we were swimming out in the boondocks, stuff like that. When we left that night, we really had no intentions to go swimming. We actually went over to this buddy's house, and we're just kind of chilling. Well, out like near a buddy's house, and we were grabbing electric fences and stuff like that shot cows, and it was a good old time. You know, just what country people do. So we're out there, and then Ashley, it was me, my brother-in-law Ryan, and then his girlfriend Ashley. Well, Ashley wanted to go swimming. And I'm like, well, I know of a hell of a place to go swimming. So we go over here and we go swimming in like this strip pit, like lake type thing. And it's got like a beach, stuff like that. I know some people are probably like, oh my God, you was swimming in a lake, Yodi? Yes, dude, we were swimming in a lake. You got to remember, we are rednecks. Not because we're sunburnt. We are literally rednecks, bro. So we go swimming. Well, we had no intentions of going swimming when we left. So when we get there, you know, she's got bra and panties on like most chicks. It's like you know, people are like, oh my God, she's in her bra and panties. It's like having a bikini on, dude. Unless you're like 10, it's not that big of a deal to see her in her bra and panties, okay? It's just like a bikini. So I'm in jeans, I got boots on and a t-shirt, maybe a hoodie. I don't know what I was wearing on. Actually, it's a t-shirt. You know, he's got shorts on or whatever. But, you know, when I get there, I'm like, dude, I don't really want to swim in my jeans. So I take off my clothes, all my clothes, except for my boxers. I'm like, I'm just going to swim in my boxers. So Ryan ends up swimming in his boxers. I swim in my boxers. And she's in her bra and panties. So we swim and stuff like that. Well, when we get ready to go, I'm like, dude, I don't want to put my jeans on over my wet boxers. So I take my boxers off, and then I just, you know, put my jeans over. You know, I don't, you know, I'm freeballing it, dude. I don't have any underwear or anything like that. So that's like key to this whole story that made my jail experience even that more, like, much more awkward or much awkwarder, however you would say that. So I put on my jeans. I don't have any boxers on. So, like, let's fast forward in time all the way up here to where I get pulled over and I'm at jail. So when I get to jail, they take me in, they do a little breathalyzer test. And, you know, just once I'm in the jail, and I'm already nervous as hell. I can see all the sheriffs. I'm like, dude, this isn't for me. This is not the type of person I am, whatever. So they give me a breathalyzer. They sit me down. You know, they take my fingerprints and stuff like that. And I got these jeans on. I got my shirt on, stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, they're probably going to put me in a holding cell for 24 hours or whatever, for however long, because I know people that have got pulled over before. And I knew the kind of, like, I knew about what was going to go down. So I'm like, all right, they're going to put me in a holding cell. Nah. You know what they do? They bring out a striped outfit and some hunter orange Crocs, like those foam shoe things. They bring those out to me, and they're like, hey, we're going to need you to put these on for us. I'm like, right. You know, I'm standing here. There's like 10 sheriffs here. There's a bunch of people getting ready to be booked into jail for them getting in trouble and everything. And they're like, I'm going to need you to put these on. I'm like, great fucking time to go swimming and leave my boxers in my truck. So I take off my clothes and I'm standing there like butt-ass naked, sitting here thinking, why the fuck did I leave my boxers in my truck? Why didn't I just put my boxers back on? I'm standing here butt-ass naked with all these sheriffs walking around and like all these people walking through, and I'm just like chilling here with my dong swinging. I'm like, what's up? The water was cold, bro. Just look the other fucking way. This is weird. Do not make eye contact. Just look the other way. So I did not have boxers on. I finally get dressed, and I'm sitting over there like, man, what kind of bullshit is this? I don't have boxers on. The one time I get pulled over and go to jail, I don't have any boxers on. So that started my jail experience very rough. Well, for whatever reason, they put me in like solitary confinement. I was in a jail cell, like by myself the whole time I was there. And dude, it sucked. I was counting to little dots on the walls just to kill time. I slept for a little bit too, but they bring in like this payphone. I'm going to tell you guys something. If you ever plan on getting in trouble to go to jail, I'm getting my you know, now that cell phones are out there, no, but you don't really know anybody's phone number by heart. My next tattoo is my contact list from my fucking cell phone on my thigh, because when I'm sitting there, they bring me a phone and they leave this phone in there for me for like 10 hours. The only problem was I only knew one fucking phone number to call. Like, I kept calling my ex-wife like every 10 minutes, and you know, they got to collect, you know, they got to like accept the collect call, whatnot, and I'm sitting here like, man, I wish I knew other people's phone numbers so I could get them out of here. Only knew one phone number, so I'm gonna get my contact list tattooed on my upper thigh. So when I do go to jail, which I don't plan on going to jail, if I ever go to jail by chance, I can just like pull down my pants and look at a contact number and then call it, because they don't provide phone books. Believe me, the chick that I asked for just straight went off. So, you know, I'm making all these phone calls. Nobody's ever answering. I finally get out of there. I had to bail my own self out for $7,500, which was ridiculous. But in Clay County, where I got pulled over, that is just the going rate for getting, you know, OVWI, operating vehicle while intoxicated. So, had to bail myself out. But nothing really else happened other than just pure boredom sitting in solitary confinement, counting the, like, dots on the ceiling and walls and stuff like that, hearing doors slam, man. Like, every time I would start to go to sleep at night, I would just be awakened by a door slamming because people were coming in. It just sucked, dude. Kids, do not get in trouble, man, because jail really blows. You know, I can hear all the other inmates out there like cutting up and stuff. You know, there's more than one to their room, their cell, whatever. But I was in like Solitary confinement. What the hell? Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this commentary. I will talk to you bros later. Bye-bye.